Everyone, please contact the class group so that they join fast because it's hardly any time. We will start sharp at 6 p.m. Anushka, shall we start or wait for 1 or 2 minutes?
I'm just waiting for 2 minutes and then we'll begin from 6 to.
Okay.
Because since this was the college case, half of the participants haven't reached home yet. Like we had full day college today. So we'll just wait till 6 to and then we'll begin now. I
Sure,
hope
sure,
that
sure.
is
No
okay.
issue.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fine, fine.
Good evening, one and all present here. I'm Shram Banerjee from CSE third year. I'm hosting today's session. First, I will welcome our chief guest, Pratyush Bhadra sir, an ex-member of our own college, MCKVIE, who has done biotech from automobile engineering, and the passing out batch of 2016. Work experience as an intern at Tata Motors, ERC Pune, Stamp Volkswagen Chakan, co-founder and executive director of CabStop. Welcome, sir. I would like to
Thank you.
I would like to welcome Animesh Tolapatra sir as well. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Today's Today is a very auspicious event as we are going to have a discussion on how to plan for startups and legal and ethical steps. I will hand over the stage to you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If someone can't hear me, just send me a message, in call message here. Okay. And admin will check it. Okay. Let me share my screen. Please someone ensure me my screen is showing or not. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. 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 All right, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I will explain some details about a startup, how to incorporate it in a legal way, and some ethical steps also. Before starting the startup, we have to understand why government is pushing extremely the startup culture in India. Okay. Being a population of 1.35 billion plus population, which is the second in all over the world, our GDP is not sufficient according to our population. Okay, in terms of GDP, we are now in 7th position. Earlier we are in 6th position, but due to COVID, we are slipped to 7th or maybe 8th. And according to GDP, our export is also not sufficient how much it should be actually. Okay, so in terms of GDP, we are at 7th position now, and in terms of export business, we are ranked in 15th. In financial year 22, we are around 400 billion, but that 400 billion export is actually not including the software part or software products and services. Okay, only the hardware or physical presence product is included in this export. So the rank 15 is also not good. So I want to explain how GDP is calculated. It's written here. It's C plus I plus G plus NX. C is the domestic consumption, domestic household consumption, plus I is the private investment. That means private any company make the investment, that is included in I. And G is government expenditure. Government expenditure in long term and also in other cases like pension, salary. These are also included in government expenditure. And NX, the last one, is the total amount in export minus import. So in our case, actually we are a trade deficit country. That means we import more than in our export. Okay. So this is also not a good sign, because as a country of a huge population, which have a huge potential of trade, international trade, if we are doing negative in these terms, then it will be not also a good sign. Okay. So now, as of export, whatever we export in the market, in the international market, only 11% is the high-tech export in terms of product, and that rank is also 22nd. It is a older data. It is I think 2018 it will be 22nd. Now it is improved. I think the current rank will be 19th or somewhere else nearby. Okay. And MSME is actually a backbone of any country. Maybe we can think that big corporate, the top 30, 50, they are actually doing the best for our country, na? But actually not. MSME is backbone of every country, In terms of MSME number, we are at 63 million, whereas China have 38 million MSME, number of MSME. But in terms of GDP contribution by these MSME is much higher in their countries. So being despite of number of MSME lesser in China, they are actually contributing more in their GDP, and their GDP is also higher. So can you imagine how much their MSME is actually creating value? What is their gross value added? That means the GVA is much higher than us. Okay. So actually we want to create more MSME in India, which can contribute more in our GDP. Okay, that's the actual target. And today's startup, they are actually futures MSME and corporate. So government is focusing only this thing, so that if we create more startup, mainly tech startup, then in future, either it will, if it's making a very big progress, then it will be changed to a corporate. Otherwise, at least it will create a MSME in future. So now I will explain what is a business entity and mainly company. You can see in the below part, a business entity can be of four kind of, four kind of categories is there. One is private limited or limited company. Second one is a LLP. Third one is a partnership. And fourth is sole proprietorship. In this four category, if someone says, is your business incorporated? That means it is regulated by Ministry of Corporate Affairs or something like that. If you say yes, that means your company is either a private limited company or limited company, or it's a LLP. Only these two organization, I mean business entity, that means private limited and LLP, these are regulated by Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Among these, only private limited is a actually company, and LLP is much newer in our country. It is actually formed in 2008 LLP Act, and Company Act was earlier one is 1956, and the latest one is Companies Act 2013. So I want to explain one more thing. If a company is registered, it will be denoted by a CI, that means company identification number, corporate identification number. In that corporate identification number, if a company is an unlisted company, that means it's not trade its share through stock market like Bombay Stock Exchange or National Stock Exchange, then that CI number will start with U. Or if a company is already listed, that means its IPO have come and it's already trading in BSE, NSE, maybe in foreign stock market also, then it will be start with L, first thing. And you can see one thing here, it is a PLC, like it below PLC, and sometimes you can say there is a PTC. What is it? Suppose if any company in a company's shareholding pattern, government entity, any kind of government entity have make some investment and take some equity share, then that company will be included with PLC. Otherwise, if a company is not a company is not government have not invested in a company in terms of stock or share, then it will be PTC. Okay, another thing is I want to share the first 5 digit of numerical. Suppose U67100. This 5 digit number is actually a trade code, or it is fixed for every company. By getting the category when it is filing, government, Ministry of Corporate Affairs think that in which category it will trade. According to they get a class number. Then you can see DL. Okay, so DL means in which state it have registered. Then 2010 or 2000 is written. That means which year it is registered. Then I have already explained PLC or PTC. And the last one is actually the number. The number is a unique number. If it is incorporated at the beginning, then it will get PTC. If government stock is already invested, government takes some investment in terms of stock, then it will be changed to PTC to PLC. Okay. In our company, Fiacre Telematics Private Limited, you can see it is incorporated in 2016 and West Bengal. And we who don't know about anything in our company, we do the proprietary hardware development on SoC. SoC means system on chip. For making a new device, that device will target for the cab and taxi. That device have some basic features like touchscreen infotainment, security, and mobility features also. And we are also doing this emergency support system related to security as a customized OS with the mobility platform. Okay. Now coming to the registration procedure. First, if you want to do a company registration, that means private limited registration, at least 2 directors should be registered at the beginning. Okay. So 2 director registration first you have to do. Then you can go for the company registration process. Earlier, it was government regulation that at least out of 2 directors, at least 1 director should be an Indian citizen, and he should not be an NRI person. But government have really, reduced some kind of regulation, and now board director could be NRI, and also board director could be a foreigner. So first, that 2 directors who want to be a director of a newly registered company, they have to get the DIN, that means the director identification number, and digital signature certificate from government. Okay. Then those directors, from those 2 directors, anyone can do the application, okay, for entire process with his GSC. First, you have to do the company name allocation. Whenever the company name allocation is completed, then the incorporation process. If company name allocation is rejected, then you can apply again once. If second time is also rejected, then another time a new application have to be due with some registration fees. Now, how to do a corporation process? When the name is allocated, it will be notified. From that notification date, within 60 days, you have to submit the below mentioned documents. What are those? Memorandum, memorandum of association, articles of association, declaration from directors. What declaration? That what the company is going to trade, what this company is going to make any product or trade any product or make any service or just doing the trade of any service. This kind of thing has to be declared in a declaration from directors. Okay. And also an affidavit from 2 directors, the board directors, and attached with also the ID proof. If the 2 directors are Indian citizen, then passport is not needed. But if it's NRI or foreign directors, then the passport is mandatory. Okay, and also address proof like Aadhaar or DL, voter ID, those things. And if the company will be registered, suppose the company, the director, among the 2 directors, 1 director have some own property with some commercial trade license. Okay. Then that director can offer his office space for company registration. If it is not, then the property owner should provide a NOC, no objection certificate, that this company will be formed here. Okay. So NOC is mandatory. Otherwise, if it's a own property, then property deed is mandatory. Then within 60 days, we have to apply for this thing. When it is already, Ministry of Corporate Affairs have give the permission if all the things are okay. Then the CIN number that I have explained in previous slide, that will be issued. The incorporation certificate will be issued. There will be the CIN number will be also mentioned. With that CIN number, you can apply now for PAN, TAN and trade license. Okay. So whenever the PAN, TAN and trade license all will be issued, then you can approach to a bank for opening a current bank account. Okay. If whenever the current bank account is already opened, then the two directors or maybe some more shareholders who want to join, they will be allocated with share. Okay. Here one thing I have to mention that the two directors who are actually opening the company, they have to share how much share they will be actually going to allocate for each director. That will be mentioned in MOA, I mean memorandum in articles in the last page. They have to declare that this amount of share will get by director 1 and this amount of share will be allocated to director 2. So after when the the current account will be open, then these two directors have to do the transfer of amount to the current the company bank account, and according to that they will get a physical kind of share copy, share certificate. Okay, that's the entire procedure. Now I want to say one thing. Name allocation rules is actually very critical. Earlier it was not like that, but after the company that 2013, mainly from March 2016, it is going to be much complicated. Okay. When you will apply for a name allocation, it is very much chances is there that your name will be rejected. To avoid this, you have to check two sites. One is Ministry of Corporate Affairs website and second one is Trademark. First, you have to check the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. You can check there that there will be a column for name allocation or company name search. Okay, you have to at least check the first word that you want to allocate for your company. Suppose in our case it's Fiacre Telematics, that means I have to check with the name Fiacre. And suppose innovative retail concept. Hello. Hello.
Audible.
You're audible, sir.
Audible.
Okay. Okay. Now is it visible? Hello, please.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So suppose in innovative retail concepts, it's this company is actually traded as Big Basket. So Fiacre or innovative, these word you have to search. If it is match, then definitely you will not get the name allocation for your company. So whenever we have done this for our company, we have checked the Fiacre is available or not. We have checked that yes, Fiacre is available. Then we have to check in trademark search that at least in which the class will be there in trademark. I will share the trademark parts also in details. Suppose our company is doing some kind of product manufacturing and service. So according to that, we will be denoted as a class, trademark class, according to product or according to service. So we have to check that Fiacre name is it there any kind of trade name, the brand name as a trademark, already trademark is registered or not with the Fiacre in that particular X class or Y class. If this is also passed, you can check that, okay, no kind of companies there in India who have a brand name with Fiacre in class X and class Y, which are going to be our class also, then definitely we will get the company name allocation for us. Okay. And also the second part, we also follow the second word also, because that will actually going to explain or demonstrate that company is trading in which sector. So in our case, it's telematics, retail concept, that means retail. So Big Basket is in retail sector. Okay. And another thing is that you have to keep in your mind, that is a company can't be allocated with some name. some well-known companies like Tata, Bajaj, already they have some kind of trademark is already there. And also suppose ABC company is not possible, or Indian something, this is also not possible after Companies Act 2013. And third thing, it is not mandatory. We all know that if you going to allocate your company name, then at the suffix, it will be a private limited. Okay, so now I'm coming to the trademark part and patent, mainly the IP. IPs are mainly categorized in many parts, but generalized it will be in 7 categories: patent, trademark, copyright, trade secret, industrial design, GI mark, and variety. I will come patent later. Trademark, whenever you are going to apply for a trademark, you have to do the trademark part very cautiously. When your company is already registered, maybe you are not, suppose you are not trading actually, or you are not making any product or selling any service. Before that, you can actually apply for a trademark. And in application, you have to mention that it is being proposed to use, or if it is already in the market, then you can mention the date. And also maybe in future you have to also show a evidence that this date actually we want, actually we traded, or we actually starts our selling. Okay, if it is proposed, then it is better, I think. So whenever you will apply it, if it is a product, then you will get the TM. That means you can use the TM in your logo, or if it is a phonetic, then you can use also that for product. And if your product, I mean you are in trading in a service, okay, then you can use SM in your logo. Okay. So if any objection is not there, then it will be within 3 months to 6 months, you will get the registration. Or suppose if many objection may comes from others brand also, or maybe the, I mean the trademark attorney, trademark the regulatory body, they can also oppose some objection, and you have to demonstrate, I mean you have to attend the hearing. So your attorney, the designated attorney, can attend the hearing on behalf of you. So after that, maybe one hearing is there, or maybe 2, or maybe more than that is also possible if any objections from another brand. Okay. If it is not, then after that you will get the registration mark. At that time, you will able to use the R sign, round and R sign for your logo. And government is actually giving some benefit for startup also. Suppose if you're trading in only one class, the fees will be around 9,000. But if you have a DIPP certificate, I mean the startup registration certificate, then the amount will be 50% less. Copyright is not so much essential for startup. It is mainly for the writer, or someone is writing some kind of notes or anything. For that purpose, it is the copyrights. Trade secret, sometimes it depends on the company. If they are making any recipe or making a process that they want to protect, that is belong to trade secret. For Coca-Cola have the recipe, I mean the Coca-Cola making recipe, they have kept in a bank vault for more than 90 years. And after 90 years, they have shared some information about that. KFC, I mean the grilled chicken, KFC grilled chicken recipe is also a trade secret. Industrial design, you can check in the picture here is attached. This is a kind of industrial design. It is, I mean, any company can claim that it has some good structure, good shape. We want to make it intellectual property. GI marks actually any, I mean, individual or a business entity is actually not able to do the GI application. This is actually for any country or any state they can apply for GI. Very well-known GI mark is Darjeeling tea, and recently, within last 2 years, we have got the basmati rice. I mean Indian basmati rice. So these are the geographical indication. And plant variety is also there. It's related to bio. And suppose if a plant is some kind of, it is unique in terms of its class or something like that, then plant varieties also can be protected through IP. In trademark, that I have earlier said, the product is have some class and service at some class. There is 34 class for product and also 11 class for service. So every company, what they are making or trading or what they are going to do as a service, everyone will be belong to this class. Okay, you have to apply according to that. And before applying for trademark, you can check the trademark class by Google search, and it is available in government website. Whenever a trademark is already granted, so from the day of grant, it will be valid for 10 years. Okay, then company can do a renew. I mean, if they do the renew, then it will be throughout ongoing process. I mean, 100 years, 150 years, 200 years, how much they want, they can get the trademark registration valid. Patents. Patent is a very essential part of, tech startup mainly, or any tech company. Patent is related to technical part, and it is granted for 20 years. After 20 years, it comes to public domain. So if your startup is already developed a product, then must patent is required. Even if suppose you think that you are going to do this by this way, okay, but you have not tested it. Maybe test result may vary, that is possible. But if you want to protect it earlier, that is also possible. And if you think that within 1 year, our product will be ready by following this way, these raw materials will be input, this process will be followed, which will be unique, inventive steps should be there, and a desired outcome is coming, okay, then you can file it as a provisional. So in provisional, you have to file 3 form number 1, 2, 3, I think. That is enough. Then from the date of provisional filing, you can do the complete filing within 1 year. Okay, but make sure that you have not changed any kind of previous input. In the provisional filing, whatever you have inputted in the provisional filing, that can be changed in complete filing. So whenever you have, suppose you have done the provisional filing or direct complete filing, after that, within 18 months, it will be public. Just after the 18 months, it will be published in a journal. So whenever journal it is published in journal, then others can also check. That means it is available for public view. Okay. So after 18 months, actually examination will become. If you want to, suppose it will take actually much time. Okay. Suppose after publication, you will get a examination report within next 2 years, not before that is possible in India. So if you want to expedite your application, then you have to, when you are going to complete filing, doing the complete filing, or after that, you can make a separate application. I think form number 18 here, yeah, I have forgot. You have to fill up the form to make it expedite examination. So your, the patent application will be examined in an earlier way. Then whenever the examination will be completed, you will get actually a FER. Here I want to share one more thing. If you think that your product is ready for a global, position. That means if you suppose you want to sell it in EU countries, USA, Japan, worldwide, then you can go for PCT application also. And if you want to go for PCT, then you have to make sure in complete filing that you have to make a sign that tick mark. If you want to go for PCT, yes or no. If you click for PCT, yes, then you will actually get 31 months for going the PCT. That means from the date of filing, whether it's a provisional or a direct complete, from that day, next 31 months, you can go for PCT. So within 31 months, you have to do the PCT application. And also, if you want to make a patent filing in US or EU, you have to also do those filings also within that 31 months. But here is the benefit. Suppose you have after 12 months or 15 months, you have you have applied for USA, right? But your date, that priority date, will be India filing date, and priority country will be India. So that benefit is there, but PCT is huge expensive. Okay, and also US application, patent application is expensive. So make sure that if you want to think that, okay, now we want to make PCT, just make a tick in complete filing that yes, we want to make PCT. That is not mandatory that you have to file it. Okay, you can't. If you don't wish, then you can reject it. But if you tick mark, then suppose within next 12 months, 15 months, or even 20 months, your product is ready and already got some investment, or your product is selling heavily in the market. Now you are planning to go for US market or EU. Then you have around 11 months, 15 months in your hand. So you can file at that time the PCT as well as the specific countries. So that's why PCT is mandatory. For getting more details about patent, trademark, and also in other IPs, you can check the 𝐿2 Pro India. 𝐿2 Pro India is the app. Not only app, it has some kind of, they organize some event and other things also. So 𝐿2 Pro India is actually co-developed and co-organized by DPII, that means the Department for Promotion of Industries and Internal Trade, and also along with ASSOCHAM and Qualcomm. So it's a very good app. You can go and check. A lot of details are shared there, and also some kind of online examination is at the end of the day. And you can also, I'll say that everyone should follow the 𝐿2 Pro India in LinkedIn. Just follow their page so that whenever they are organizing any kind of meeting, you can join. I mean, you have to apply and they will share you the meeting link through your mail. And a lot of things is, discussed there. Not only the patent process, how to monetize your patent, how to value your patent. If you want to just suppose your company is thinking that, okay, we have already we have a granted patent and that value is much higher, and your company don't want to trade anymore, then you can sell it to any corporation, any big companies. And also you can suppose have got the patent in India as well as in US and EU, but you are not getting much more fund. So you are actually planning that in US and EU, you are going to, licensing of your patent. So that is also possible. Okay, you can get the licensing fees. That licensing fees could be a one time. That licensing fees could be a product based. That means how much product they will produce, a number of product or device. They will give a patent, the licensing fees to you. Qualcomm is also follow this licensing, the licensing process. So in every product, they take some licensing fees from the licensing. So you can follow. It's good. Business ethics. Business ethics. These actually mainly look after by CA and CS. Okay, but all the co-founder have to. I mean, just follow it. Corporate governance, mainly tax compliance and accountability. You should always file your tax within the time. If it is, I mean, overdue, then amount will be much higher. Okay, and also suppose if your account and balance sheet is not maintained properly enough, then you will not get investment. I mean the external investment from angel investor, VC, or anyone else. So try to avoid related party transaction. Okay, that is very much essential for startup. Insider trading is not, I mean, you have to follow, because insider trading is mainly related to the company which is already listed in stock market. But you have to follow, I mean, always concerned about the protection of data privacy. You know that in European Union, there is a GDPR, General Data Protection Rights. So it is much more strict. Okay. And any kind of data breach that can impact your company's image. And unfair trade practice, these are actually happen when a company, I mean, already grown to a very much bigger scale. Okay. And unfair trade practice is actually regulated by two things. One is the company, I think, Consumer Regulation Act, I mean Consumer Protection Act, and another thing is Competition Commission. Consumer Competition Commission is a separate entity, I mean a commission that check that if any kind of duopoly business domination is there, false advertisement, duopoly unfair competition, product dumping. Product dumping happens mainly cross-border trading. Suppose you have aware that the Chinese company actually do a lot of product dump in India, so that I mean the product price will already decrease at much lower scale. Okay, so product dumping is cross-border issue, but you have to follow that thing also. And other things is anti-competitive agreements. That thing is also there. But it's happened normally when a company have grown up at large scale. Okay. I want to share that some guidebook is there. You can read it, and some YouTube channel also. There is a book by Peter Thiel named 0 to 1. That is a very good book. And also you can check Everything Started as Nothing. It is written by 𝑠𝑜𝑐𝑖𝑒 Majumdar. Okay, 𝑠𝑜𝑐𝑖𝑒 Majumdar is also a partner in reputed micro VC firm named Unicorn India Ventures. Okay, and Peter Thiel is actually I mean the co-founder of PayPal. You can also follow Funding a Startup and Other Nightmares by Dhruv Nath and 𝐓𝐿 Mitra. 𝐓𝐿 Mitra is actually, I mean, partner of angel platform that is named Lead Angels. And Venture Deals. Venture Deals is actually help you when you are going to raise your fund. This book is actually lot of things is there. That thing actually you require to understand to what is those terms, and that will be much needed when you will go for a fundraising. When you will go for fundraising, there will be first a term sheet. I mean the investor, maybe a angel platform, maybe a VC, they will issue a term sheet first. Then according to term sheet, they will make a SHA, that means shareholder agreement. Okay, and in this, the shareholder agreement or maybe in term sheet, there will be some clause like drag along, tag along, right of first refusal. What are those terms and what are the implication of those terms, that is thoroughly details explained in venture deals. One thing you have to remember that term sheet agreement, that is a non-binding process, and SHA is a binding process. That means if someone have violated some kind of terms which is written in term sheet, that will be not, I mean, you can go for a legal proceedings against that. But if any party have violated any terms which is written in shareholder agreement, then the another party can sue in court or maybe in other spheres, suppose arbitration. That is also possible. Professor Ashraf Damodaran, he is actually my favorite. He is actually professor of economics at Stern Business School, New York University. He has a YouTube channel. You can follow it. He mainly share videos in related to valuation, how valuation is calculated. Okay, what is the market cap of any company, how that is calculated. If the share is actually trading below value or above the value, okay, that he explained and much simpler way. And also, I think you are budding entrepreneurs who are already excited about this startup journey. You follow the Think School, Startup and Aditya Sani and many much others YouTubers. Think School is a very good YouTube channel. You can follow. There is in-depth analysis about business case studies, not only about the startup, much older corporate business, which are actually MNCs. That is also explained in Think School YouTube channel. You have to follow that. You can check. It's nice. So I want to now go for question and answer. Hello.
Pratyush, I'm audible?
Yes.
Yeah, sir. You are audible.
Actually, I have nice presentations. Actually, I want to know what is the motivation that you are leaving the job and start a new startup. What is the motivation? Can you share with our students?
Yeah, sure. Actually, when I have passed out in 2016, before that, actually, I was involved some kind of product building, which is not traditional in our automobile department at that time. In my final year academic project, I have done the project which was actually a product related to electronics. Okay, so I have demonstrated that product in Tata Motors, and I have get some good response, and also some in-depth about what is coming in this sector in upcoming days, in next 5 years, 7 years. That I have learned. Then from 2015, mid 2015, that time I am actually planning to do the startup. Okay, from that time I have attended some meeting in patent office in stated West Bengal supported a patent office, and then after completing the BTech, then I have a clear path about what I am going to do with our product and how is the will be the business model. Though that business model is changed now, what is it was 5 years, 6 years back. We have introduced much more things. At the beginning, first 2 years in Kolkata, we have done the product development or open source. The student who are in computer science and electronics, they know what is the open source. So we have developed the open source hardware, but that is not good for commercialization. Okay, when we are testing it, it is much more, I mean, complicated, not good for a superior product. Okay, so then we have moved to Bangalore, and now we have done already the same process as a licensee of Qualcomm. Okay, and now product development is already completed, but due to the chip crisis, we are not able to do the production phase from last 1 year. So we are just now doing the, the app service, customized OS, that part is done. So actually, entrepreneurs, they can think that startup is a very glamorized thing. Okay, but it is not like that. So much, a lot of challenge will come. Okay. And any kind of motivational video will not work. Entrepreneur should be self-motivated. Then it is all, I mean, the end result would be succeed or not succeed. But whatever they will learn, that will be beneficial for them. And they have to self-motivated. That's what I can say.
That's good. I think anybody any questions who will interested to do any startup or any query you may ask, because Piyush is basically near to us. He's just ex-students. You can ask any question to him.
Sir, I have a
That
question.
question, yeah.
Yes, sir. As you said that copyright is not a very mandatory step, like for product building, but sir, like like what happens is in the current scenario, there is almost competition in every market. So if I launch a product like any sort of product, but if I already have a competition in the market, and but I have without like I have done my whole work without like wholeheartedly without copying, but without my knowledge, I like the other company files a case on me for copyright, because that too without my knowledge. So in those cases, sir, where there is a very fine line difference between the products, so how should the companies react to that, or how should they plan their product in that situation?
Yeah, see, I want to share here that in India, actually, copyright, suppose a company have done a software programming, okay, if they want to copyright it, okay, copyright it, but suppose if someone changes something in the code, some in a 10,000 line code, if someone change 2-3 lines only, then it is actually not a copyright value and violation. Okay, because end result is something else. Even suppose that that thing is already patented. In India, software patent is not possible, but in US, software patent is possible. So that company, if it is patented in US, that coding, and you have changed some kind of changes in that flow, then it is not a copyright valuation, copyright violation, or even patent valuation. Patent, it is not also the patent or IP violation. Why? You have to explain such kind of scenarios. Suppose you have make some changes in that the software coding, but you are also following a different path. It is explained in patent that the methodology or process should be unique. So if a company have done a software patent, okay, and you are actually following a different process to get the same output, okay, then I think it will be actually not a violation, because you are following a new path or process that is also have some inventive step. Then it will be protected in US, and it can be challenged in US also. But in India, actually, a company can't do a software patent. They can do the copyright, but copyright means exactly the same thing. If someone copy, then they can sue. If you have changed some lines, then it's not a copyright violation. Na? So it's not so much complex. Actually, in India, software patent is, easy to violate, I can say. But in US, it is some kind of strictness is there, because they issue software patent also. Yeah. But in India, no software patent is there. So only copyright can be done, and copyright can be easily violated. Just changing some lines. And I think if you have any many more queries about that, then you should attend the L2 Pro India session. Patent attorneys are there. Qualcomm senior most attorneys, Dr. 𝐒𝐭𝐴𝐻 𝐿𝙖𝙩𝙚, he also joined sometimes. you can ask them for better query.
Okay, sir.
Participants,
Anything
anyone
else?
of you have
Anyone?
any other queries?
Don't hesitate. Just ask in English, Hindi, Bengali, any language.
Sir, how should they contact you in case they have any further queries in future?
It's it will be best if ping me on LinkedIn. I never do log out in my LinkedIn profile, so it's the best to approach me.
So can we get your LinkedIn ID?
Um, okay, I'll share someone of your team. Okay, and also you can. I mean, anyone can search in LinkedIn by name, and it is already there. Uh, it is written that co-founder of 𝐶𝐞𝐬 Private Limited. I'll share in details about my LinkedIn.
Thank you, sir. I will ask. I will request Tolapatra sir for the vote of thanks.
So, Pratyush, we are very proud that you have started a good journey in this area, and you have shared a most informative information to all our students. Hope few students may be motivated after listening your lectures. So, hope in future we will also invite you in another sessions where you will share more information. In that way, I am closing here. If anybody any questions, any query, you may ask now.
Thank you, sir,
Okay, okay.
for en- for
Thank you.
enlightening us with this entire session.
Yeah. And I want to wish everyone who want to do a startup during college days or maybe after the college days. They are welcome and they can ping me for any if they have any queries, they need to ask any they have to I mean share any details how to do the process, how to I mean do the company formation, maybe how to do the patent filing in details because patent filing is a much complex thing and entire session should be there for 30 minutes. It is possible. So anything they just ping me on LinkedIn and just except the sleeping time, all time my LinkedIn is available online, so they can ping me. Okay,
Sure,
thank
sir.
you, thank.
We will surely contact you, sir, via LinkedIn. The feedback form will be given in the chat box. Everyone must fill it up to get the certificates.
Thank you, everyone.
And by this, we are at the